What's going on, family? This is Ezekiel and Will, and you are now watching the Soul Detox Show.
Listen, our mission is to replace the toxic with the truth. And since you're here, we ask that you like and share this video, subscribe to this channel, because your engagement tells the algorithm to push this message out to more people. Thank you to everyone who's financially supporting the show. Because of your investment, we're creating more opportunities to detox your soul. Welcome to the Soul Detox Show Live. We are back here. We're at it again. And today we are talking about something that I think is so pivotal in this day and time, man. What I see, bro, is that so many believers are getting mixed up with actually defining what they determine to be good by cultural standards.
Oh my gosh. Yes, sir.
We're going to go through this whole series of redefining what we've been looking at from a natural perspective, because the truth of the matter is, if we are not defining how we're moving, how we're living by how God defines it, then our definition is off. And if our definition is off, then everything that we're building is off. Because the definition is the foundation. So how are you defining what's good? Talk to me, bro.
How are you defining what's good?
What's good?
What's good, though? What's good? To be honest, man, we get so entrapped because of the conditions of life. We get so entrapped because of what we see and how we feel that we begin to infuse and entangle our understanding of good with our perception of it, right?
Yeah.
And so if we want to go back to proper understanding, godly understanding of good, I believe we have to go back to the beginning.
Take it back.
We have to go back to the introduction. Let's go back to where God introduced good for the first time. The first time we see the term good is when God declared it.
Come on.
It is to say, we should not have an interpretation or understanding of good unless we go back to the one who declared it in the first place. Meaning, not only did he create good things, but he created good because he is the creator that is good.
Come on.
So our understanding and the foundation of that understanding of good has to come from God. And we see that when he created the things that he created light. He created all the crawling, creeping, flying things. He created mankind, and he determined and he declared that it is good. It is good.
Yes.
And so we should run away from any idea, any concept that tries to help us understand good if it is not curated by an understanding that God didn't introduce. I believe in something called prototypes.
Yeah.
Every manufacturing company, every manufacturing enterprise creates products, but before they put products into mass production, they always start with a prototype. The prototype is the tangible guidelines by which we're able to determine and manufacture everything that comes after that product. So when we see the product on the shelves, when we see it in the retail stores, it is literally a replication, right? Ooh. It matches the identity of the prototype that was introduced.
Yeah.
So from the iPhone, there was a prototype for the iPhone. There's a prototype for the Nike sneakers, the Jordan sneakers that you wear. And in the same way, God designed and declared the prototype for good. And how do we look at the anatomy of good? Let's strip back the layers of what he did. Well, first we realize that, one, if it's good, God did it.
Come on.
God has to do it for it to be good. That means, we even see in Isaiah, it tells us that our righteousness, what we try to manufacture as good, is as a filthy rag. That should give us some insight and information that what we try to produce with our own hands can only be not that good.
So, but hold on. Because now what you're doing is shaking up the foundation of everything that we've built.
Come on, bro.
Because what you're saying that is, if God didn't do it, he doesn't consider it good. Because see, the thing is, we determine what's good in our own eyes.
Oh.
It sounds familiar. I believe in Sodom and Gomorrah, where every man did what was right in his own eyes.
There is a way that seemeth
right to man, but the
To who?
end to man. Come on. But the end is death. So what you're saying, baseline for what's good, is did God do this? Did God initiate this? Was he involved in the creation? Was he involved in the development of the prototype? Because we take things all the way from the conception, the idea, to the prototype, to production. And then when it fails on the assembly line, we want to take it to God.
Well, how about, we talk about goods, produce, production, products. With our own understanding, what we intend on doing is we take cultures, concepts, we take what social media is saying. We're taking how we feel, what we've experienced, and what we've known, and we try to manufacture good. But what happens is we attempt to take God's product and throw our own modifications on it. Bro, we talked about good having identity.
Yes.
It has its own genetic code.
Yes.
We're able to determine what is good by what it came from.
Come on.
So if we're making good in our lab of conditions, in our lab of understanding, in our lab of experience, then what we're creating is the GMO version. We're living, we got GMO marriages.
Come on.
We got GMO services.
Talk.
We got GMO assignments that we're calling ministry.
Come on.
Because we threw our rims on that joint.
Yeah.
We threw the, you know, from the hood, you throw the, what do you call them things? Dang.
Throw some D's on it.
Your hydraulics.
The hydraulics.
D's on them up.
We threw some 15s in the back.
Bro, we add our modifications.
Yeah.
But what happens, oh man, when you modify an original product.
Yeah.
Even though in the streets, the value goes up.
Yeah.
To the manufacturer, the value goes down.
It decreases.
You could say, well, I want y'all to, take a look at this. I put this, candy paint, got the 26-inch rims. The hood celebrates it.
Oh.
Social media claps for it.
Come on.
But the manufacturers say, that's not my vehicle.
Oh my God. The crazy part about this is that this is why they tell you to never buy depreciating assets. Because as soon as you drive off the lot, it depreciates. As soon as you get away from the manufacturer, you start to depreciate in value.
No.
That's crazy. That's crazy. As soon as you start to provide distance between you and who made you, you start to depreciate in value. But check it, you are more likely to appreciate in attention. So your value depreciates, but the attention that you draw begins to appreciate. And now you are, Jesus, help us. Because now I'm gauging if it's good by my level of applause versus can I return this back to the manufacturer in the way that they gave it to me? Because we talked about if it's good being baseline as if God did it. But then I think now we're talking about taking it a step further. It's not only did God do it, but can I give it back to God? And he use it for what he intended it for.
Oh, my.
Because the manufacturer has an intention. When I create this product, there's an intention behind this, for it to run this way. So we're talking about modifications, and we were talking about this off camera, and you were talking about the NOS and the modifications. Tell the people who don't know about NOS in the hood what they used to do.
In the hood, man.
Yeah.
They'll buy a Honda Civic.
Come on.
that's supposed to only go 99 miles per hour. But when they throw that NOS and they add these things, fuel, exhaust, injections, and all that stuff to the vehicle, it allows the vehicle to go faster.
That's what I'm.
It allows the vehicle to move in ways that the manufacturer didn't design. Because if it's able to go faster, now I'm able to go to the car clubs, and I'm able to represent, and I'm able to show out, and I'm able to be appreciated, and I'm able to race on the streets. When the manufacturer said this vehicle was not for racing.
And isn't it funny that we want to take the thing that was manufactured for us, modify it so that it can break laws? So that the laws that were set in place, your speed limit and your manufacturer, to say this is how this car is supposed to operate, we want to modify it so that we can intentionally break laws. Maybe one of those laws, it could be that humble yourself before the Lord God, and in due season he will. But because we want to move fast.
Jesus.
Okay, that makes sense. We want to move fast.
We want to move fast. Yeah. And here's the thing, man. Because let's bring it home. Let's make sure that, this is practical for some of us. How are you modifying what God's intentions for Satan's suggestions? Ooh. When we saw Satan tempt Jesus, it's the thing. Satan always desires to introduce perversions of God's design.
Yes.
Like, go ahead and turn the stone to bread so that you could indulge in it. That suggestive idea would have allowed Jesus to indulge in the perversion. This is out of order. Stone is not bread. And if Jesus created the miracle, if God did it, it's something else. Yeah. But at the suggestion of the enemy, his desire was, hey, I want you to indulge. I want you to feed the hunger. I want you to feed your flesh. I want you to feed your most instinctive desires by perversion. And so the sex that you so crave is no longer within the confines of marriage. You want the perverted version of it. You want it outside of those confines. Even the companionship, the intimacy that you crave from the opposite sex, or maybe even the same sex. You want what God designed your way. That's what sin is. See, when the serpent came to Adam and Eve, he said, did God really say, look, go ahead and eat this and you will become wise, insinuating that there was something that God was withholding, and there's something that they need to take into their own hands or do their own way so that they can achieve a level of satisfaction that they could not get with God.
Yeah.
And so you mentioned going fast. I believe that if they would have asked God for a little bit of more insight, they would have got it. But if I could take a shortcut to insight,
come on,
I'll eat the fruit. If I could get a shortcut to pleasure, I don't have to wait for marriage. I could get pleasure now. I can hit these streets. I can go out and access this money. I could get fame. I could get notoriety. People will finally see me. And all of these are shortcuts to what, dwelling would have got us in the first place.
Oh, but we don't want to dwell. We want to drive. We don't want to dwell. We want the driver's seat. And this is the issue here, is because we first seen baseline that we've qualified good.
Yes.
With fast. We've qualified good with the attention and applause that we receive. We qualify good now based on what we benefit from it.
Come on.
When in all actuality, what you first started off with is redefining good. First, did God do this? Is God's hand in this, not his hand of repair or not his hand of grace, but his, there are two different wills, right? It's we're asking God for his will to be done. And a lot of times we're operating in his permissive will.
Sheesh.
that because we have free will, he will permit us to do what we desire to do. And because you are his, he will then now make sure that he is orchestrating your decisions to lead you back to the place that you're supposed to be, because you have free will. But his perfect will is what he had in store when he manufactured you. Because his desire, his will is now created, and we see it in what he's put together as the manufacturer, but we take his parts and we want to exchange some of those. We want to exchange certain perspectives. We want to exchange certain aspects of how we want to live because we want to go fast.
We want to go fast. And I want you to go into that, because you were talking to me earlier about the qualities of good. But one thing I want to mention is, for us, we need to expand our definition to align ourselves with God's definition of good. Because for us, good equals what benefits me now.
Yes.
If it benefits me now, then it qualifies as good. If it makes me feel good now, then it qualifies as good. If it makes me look good now, then it qualifies as good. If it makes other people appreciate me now, then it qualifies as good. But we can see historically, what God deems and declares as good, there is no time limit on how the benefit. In fact, God wants to perfect us. We want things to benefit us. So God's in the business of making us beneficiaries, not just those who benefit now. What the thing about beneficiaries is
beneficiaries.
Here's the thing about beneficiaries. If I'm a beneficiary, the greatest deposit that comes to a beneficiary happens in the course of a death. Jesus says, your greatest benefit is as a result of my death.
And you can only access it when you die. Not physically, but when you die to you. Keep going. Keep going.
No, there's
Keep
nothing
going.
else to say. And then it tells me that there's a level of patience, endurance, and understanding that I need to access to be able to expand my definition.
Yeah.
Because when I look at the life of Joseph, if he were to go on social media in the middle of his journey,
Come on.
blast God and his brothers,
Come on.
and everything that they intended, he would have never seen God turn it around.
He would have never seen it. But we want to get on, and we want to highlight the pit, because we want pity. We don't want to talk about the God of the pit. We want to talk about how dark it is in here.
Oh my God.
We want to talk about how lonely it is in here. We want to talk about the fact that I don't have what everybody else has, and I'm sleeping and it's cold in here. We don't want to talk about the fact that I may be in here, but though they slay me, yet will I trust him. Because see, when it's good, you're talking about good as benefits. And people want the benefits, the now benefits, as a beneficiary, even though as a beneficiary, you have to wait for a certain amount of time when there's a death to be exchanged for the benefits. But we want the right now benefits because we don't understand what God calls good. Because David said, it was good for me that I was afflicted, that I might learn your statutes. But we don't want the good that takes us into the pit. We don't want the good that takes us into the darkness. We don't want the good that comes out of the cross. We don't want the good that comes after us just maintaining and stewarding what God gave us as the manufacturer. Because now I'm thinking about when the master went away for a journey, and to some he gave 5 talents. And the one he gave 2 talents, and then the one he gave 1 talent. And the one who had 5 talents went and doubled that and had 10, The one who had 2 talents wouldn't double that and have 4, but there was one who said, you know what, I'm just going to bury this in the ground.
Come on.
And I'm just going to wait because I'm just waiting on the master to get back so I can get my benefit. And I'm just going to hold on to what I got, and I'm not going to work what he has and what he's given me, not to modify it in my own way, but to steward it well.
Wow.
Because there's a difference between modification and good stewarding. Modification is I take the thing that God has given me and I make changes to it.
Wow.
Good stewarding is I take what God has given me and I use it to the best of my ability.
Wow.
So that when the master comes back, because he came back after a long journey, and the one who said 5 said, hey, I doubled this. The one who said 2 said, I doubled this. And the other one who said, I got 1, he said, you slowful. He looked at the other 2 and said, well done, my good and faithful servant. So here we go. First thing is clarifying by good as if God did it. Second thing, clarifying now by good, is if what God did, you stewarded well, and it was to the approval of the one who gave it to you.
Oh, wow. Wow.
So not only did God do it, is God approving it.
Jesus. That's good.
Not only did he give it to me and create it, is he approving how I'm using what he gave me.
That's good.
That's good. That's good when I can take what he's given me, steward it well, and give it back to him. And he says, well done. Because that's what we're living for.
My gosh.
But see, we're exchanging, Jesus, we're exchanging the well done for likes. We're exchanging our well done for crowd applause. Because instead of living our life for an audience of one, we want the audience to override the one who gave us what we have in the first place.
Jesus.
Because God's applause isn't enough.
Bro, in restaurants, well done just means it was in the fire long enough.
Shh. Say it again.
Well done just means it was in the fire long enough. See, for us, here's the thing about us, man. We want to escape process so we can see finished product.
Yes.
We want is well done without the process of well done. Think about the manufacturer's process. It's encapsulated with the product. Like if I were to sell my product, I would also have to sell the secret code of how that product was developed.
Yes.
You can't have the product without the process that's tied to the product. And so we want the product without the process. And so Joseph would not have been an overseer without the pit. He would not have been an overseer. He would not have been in the king's house or the he would not have been in the palace, Pharaoh's house without the betrayal of his brothers.
Come on.
And so for us, we want to take his dream and run to the palace.
Yes.
We want to take the gift and run to the big stage. And God is saying, why are you escaping process? When you escape process, you want the microwave process.
Come on.
And my brother Jerry Flowers said it so unbelievable, beautiful. He says, when you go the microwave route, you end up cold in the middle.
You're still cold in the middle. Oh, my God. When you don't stay in there long enough.
Don't you just hate that? You're ready for the thing. You beep, 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 3 minutes, but because of impatience.
Yeah.
You're already impatient enough. You could have used the oven.
Yeah.
But you're impatient. You're so impatient, use the microwave. And you're still so impatient that instead of the full 5 minutes that it required, you're watching that thing be cooked.
Oh.
You got your eyes so locked in on when God's going to do it that you despise the process and the patience that's necessary to see the fact that God is going to do it, that you pull it out prematurely. Some of you, look, God has gifted.
Come on.
God has called to marriage.
Yes.
God has called to greatness.
Yes.
But you want to get out prematurely.
Oh, my God.
God's saying, I'm not done with you.
Oh my God.
Sit in the fire longer. Because I need this thing back to me well done. I need you to come back to me well done.
Because even when you're in the oven, any good chef will tell you when you put it in there, you got to set it and forget it. You can't keep opening the door because every time you open the door, you let out the heat.
Sheesh.
And you disturb the cooking process. And the reason why stuff isn't getting done is because we keep interrupting the process because we want it now. We want to open it to check it. We want to keep checking on God, the one who needed no help in creation. But somehow we think he needs help in what he's producing in what he gave us. We keep opening the door. Okay, God, I hear what you said. And, okay, God, I believe you, but let me just check it real quick. Let me just hold on. Let me just put my finger in it. Let me put my touch on it. Let me put my seasonings on what you're doing. Let me actually imagine if you were preparing a meal and someone who wasn't even cooking the meal came in and opened the oven to check what you were cooking.
My kids. Because they're so infatuated with the sizzle on top.
Oh my.
They're like, Daddy, stop the microwave. It's done. Because they're only concerned with the surface. If it's browning on top and it looks good to everybody else, Daddy, then why can't we just take it out of the microwave? Because Daddy has done this before.
Oh.
Daddy's been here before.
Go there.
I'm concerned with the entire meal.
Yes.
I'm not concerned with the sizzle on top. They are.
Yeah.
They're concerned with the sizzle on top.
Yeah.
Because I know if you take it out now, it's going to prolong the process.
Come on.
If you just allow me to do my thing, I'm going to make sure it's cooked thoroughly.
Thoroughly. Oh, I need you cooked all the way through. Because if you're still raw in the middle and the enemy hits you at your raw spots, it's like when you have a scab or you get an injury and the skin it's raw and someone could just graze it and the pain that will shoot. Imagine having 3rd-degree burns. And it's raw and someone touches it, the pain that you would experience because someone touched your raw space because it hadn't healed correctly. See, the fire we think, the fire we think is causing us to experience pain, but it's also in heat where things can begin to heal properly.
That's so good.
So if I'm not done in the middle, then I'm easily susceptible to what the enemy wants to do. And God keeps saying, no, I got to keep putting you back in here because you keep hopping out of the fire.
Jeez.
I got to keep putting you back because I'm a good father. And what I can't do is allow you to hop out before you're done, because then you will risk everything that I've done because of what you want right now.
And it wasn't until Jesus was at the point of death that he declared it is finished. Why are you trying to hop out before God is calling you towards a death? Did you die yet? Did you die yet?
Did you die yet? Imagine somebody cooking a crab or a lobster and they brought it to you and it was still twitching.
Oh my gosh.
You in this fancy restaurant, you got dressed up, it's your anniversary, and they bring you out this lobster that you just were craving, you heard so much about, and then its claws are twitching. What the first thing you will say, hey, this ain't done. Well, but it looks good. I mean, the garnish is everything is on a plate. This is how we serve it. If you wouldn't take it at a restaurant, why do we expect God to take it? Is it done yet? So we're looking at what's good, classifying and redefining the aspect of good. Did God do it? Was God's hand in it?
Man.
Is he approving what I'm doing with what he gave me? is it done? Because culture is like, it doesn't matter if it's done because all I need is 30 seconds of it. It doesn't matter if your marriage is done because all I need is the Instagram clip.
Oh my gosh.
It doesn't matter if you've been processed because in the process you get the instructions.
Oh my God.
It doesn't matter because all I need is this short microwavable version. That's all I need is this small nuanced aspect. And so we keep rushing process because now it's not about if it's done. Because here's Jesus. When it's not done, you only eat pieces and you throw away the rest. And the reason why we can't get satisfied is because we keep munching on pieces.
Dog.
We keep snacking because we're too impatient to let it cook thoroughly. So now we keep taking it out and we'll settle for crumbs.
Oh my God.
We'll settle for pieces of the promise because all I need to do to get the applause is show them a piece.